Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. If you are speaking, you are muted.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling my attention to that. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second in the series of our free webinar series on Takaful. My name is Titilokwe Alimi, and I'm the Deputy Registrar of Nungu Business School. On behalf of Nungu Business School, I thank each and every one of you for making out time to join us for this session this afternoon. So yet again, we have the top echelon of two of the Takaful, fully fledged Takaful companies here in Nigeria. We have 5 of them in total, and we have 2 more joining us this afternoon to share of their wealth of knowledge with us. The aim is to enable each of us have a wider understanding of what Takaful insurance entails, what it's all about, and the possibilities that exist in partnering with one or more or even all of them. So my name is Titilokwe Alimi, and I welcome you once again on behalf of Nungu Business School. Okay, so the theme of this webinar series is Takaful, the viable alternative, and it is aimed at increasing awareness around Takaful insurance and providing a greater understanding of its complex concepts, the implementation and hands-on application to our daily lives, whether it's our personal lives or even our businesses. An understanding of Takaful is definitely something that is very desirable, and is also a key element of equality, diversity, and inclusion, that is financial inclusion in the Nigerian insurance market. The topics to be covered in this series include understanding Takaful insurance, which was taken last weekend by the MD of Nur Takaful Insurance Limited. Then we also took a look at Takaful as an opportunity for financial inclusion, which was also dealt with by Mr. Ibrahim Shehu, the CEO of Jais Takaful Insurance Limited. So this afternoon, we have the honor of having with us the CEO of Hilal Takaful Insurance, who will walk us through Takaful contracts, and the ED operations of Salam Takaful, who will be looking at socio-economic advantage of Takaful. The final topic, that's Takaful Outlook in Nigeria, will, by God's grace, be taken next week by Crown Takaful Insurance. So our speakers for today include Mrs. Muiba Jimo, who is the Managing Director of Hilal Takaful Insurance. She'll be talking to us about Takaful contracts, while Mr. Eitayo Ogunluyi, who is the Executive Director Operations of Salam Takaful Insurance Limited, will walk us through socio-economic advantage of Takaful. So I'll take a pause right here and stop my share to enable Mrs. Jimo share her slides and, of course, start her discussion with us. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Ma'am.
I don't know.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Okay.
Assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Just a point of note, the Executive Director Technical and not the CEOs, as earlier mentioned by our coordinator. Okay, so
Okay.
I want to be sure. Okay, Assalamu alaikum once again. I sincerely welcome you to this impactful session on Takaful contracts. Today we are exploring how Takaful offers an ethical and faith-compliant alternative to conventional insurance. We will go beyond the basics We'll be looking at the legal structure of Takaful contract in Nigeria, its operational model, religious alignment, from both Quranic and biblical views, and its significance in promoting financial inclusion and social protection. Whether you are a policymaker, business owner, or individual seeking, value-driven, protection, this section is for it. So let's dive in. Takaful is built on the principle of mutual assistance, which we call ta'awun. Participant in Takaful space contribute to a common, pool of funds, and this is to support one another in the event of a risk occurring. That is the risk that is specified in the policy document. And the concept of Takaful also avoids forbidden element in Islam, such as the riba, the garar, which we call excessive uncertainty, and also the masir, which we call gambling. And interestingly, in the Bible, the Bible also emphasizes, fairness, and also warns against usury, and also promotes charity, which also mirrors the ethical foundation, on which Takaful is, built on. So Takaful is not just a financial model. It's really a system rooted in morality, solidarity, and divine, principle. In terms of the legal basis, that support, the Takaful operations in Nigeria, let's examine some of the frameworks. NICOM Act of 1997, Section 49, subsection 1B to be precise, enables NICOM to issue regulations and also guidelines pertaining to insurance operations. And also Section 7 also grants, NICOM the authority to license and also supervise, insurance companies, under which Takaful operation also falls into. Also, in the same vein, Insurance Act of 2003, from Section 3 to subsection to Section 7, also, regulates the operation of insurance, business, and Takaful. Though Takaful is not specifically mentioned in this guideline, but also as an insurance, operator, this guideline also regulates our operations. So in terms of the specific guideline that regulates the Takaful operation, we have the Takaful guideline of 2013, which defines how Takaful funds must be managed, the model to be used, and the Sharia compliance to be maintained. In the same vein, we have the market conduct guideline for Takaful operation, which was released in 2023. This guideline emphasizes ethical treatment of participants, and also ensures transparency and fair dealing when dealing with Takaful participant. And in terms of the guideline, when it comes to the Sharia compliance, we also have what we call the Advisory Council of Experts. And any operation of a Takaful operator must also be validated by this council. And this collective framework validates Takaful's legality and also ethical credibility. So Takaful is governed by core principles. So these principles, are what validates Takaful as an ethical instrument. We have the ta'awun, as I earlier mentioned before, which emphasizes cooperation, compassion, and shared responsibility. And also the tabaru, which in actual fact is the voluntary donation. We don't call it premium. just as it is called in the conventional space. This, changes the very spirit of the Takaful contract to a mutual aid. That is, the participants have agreed, to aid themselves and also ensure that whenever any member of any participant is faced with a loss, they have, funds, to compensate them for that loss. So also we have the Sharia compliance, which also eliminates, only on ethical financial element and also aligns with the guideline of Sharia law, and also aligns with the call for just dealing in the Bible, which also, so all this means that, Takaful is not only an insurance, model for Muslims. It's all encompassing. Anybody willing, to be involved in ethical practices are also, welcome, to benefit from the Takaful system. So also in terms of the risk sharing, we don't transfer risks in the Takaful just as is done in the conventional space. Instead, participants, bear their risks and also manage them together. Then the operators and participant fund are not commingled in Takaful operations. They're expected to be separated. So these are core principles that guides the Takaful model. And also on the operating model, the operating contract must be, stated when dealing with the participant. If it is the Wakala model, it has to be stated. If it's the Moderaba or the hybrid, it needs to also be communicated. There's a need for transparency. And surplus sharing is also an ethical sharing of any unused contribution after all the necessary claims must have been paid in line with the regulatory guideline. The ACE committee, expert, which is the advisory council of experts, must also ensure ongoing ethical and integrity of Takaful operation. So in terms of our operational fund, when Takaful operates through a segment of funds, that are structured, which ensures that both transparency and ethical management of funds are maintained. This component, include what we call the participant risk fund. In the technical, in the conventional space, we just call it risk funds, but here participant risk fund. So this fund is primarily used to, cover claims arising from Tabaru donation, where participants voluntarily, contributes, to a risk pool, and the funds are utilized when a member experiences loss, ensuring that the risks are shared collectively among participants. Then we have, again, what we call the participant investment fund. This typically relates to the family aspect of the Takaful model, where funds, in participants' contributions are ethically invested in accordance with Islamic principles. The aim here is to ensure that, we generate refunds, which are then used to benefit the participant, and also ensure that the funds that we invest are in an ethical instruments. So we have the last one, we have the operators fund. This fund is designed to cover the management and operational expenses of the Takaful company. It ensures that the business can run smoothly and efficiently, and also include the cost of administration, marketing, customer services, and all. And by keeping funds separated, the Takaful operator can prevent the misuse of funds and also maintain clearer distinction between, profit-generating activities and risk-sharing activities also. So in terms, we go to the category of Takaful contracts. Takaful contracts are broadly divided into two main categories. So we have the general Takaful, which basically focuses on protecting assets and businesses from physical loss and liability. And then we have the family Takaful, which combines both life protection and long-term savings, offering offering policies that provide financial security to family in the event of death, disability, or a critical illness of the breadwinner or the family. So we go to the overview of the Takaful, of the general Takaful business. So here, these are some of the common products offered under the general Takaful. Each of these products are tailored to meet different needs of industries and individuals. So the motor Takaful provide coverage for damages to vehicle and liability in case of accident. This product helps individuals and businesses to manage the risks associated with their mode of transportation. We have the fire Takaful, which is designed to protect buildings and also related content or related risks, against damage, or loss from fire. Is particularly, beneficial for homeowners, businesses with physical assets. Then the marine Takaful, we have. Marine Takaful is ideal for those that are involved in shipping and international trade. This covers risks associated with the vessel or the cargo itself. Lastly here, we have the general accident. So the general accident, is designed to cover, different level of risks. We have the ones that covers injury, liability, and other specialized risks. So we have the personal accidents, we have the employer's liability, public liability, fidelity, goods in transit, and so on. Okay, so when we come to the family space, under the Takaful model, Group Takaful provides coverage for members of the group. So in Nigeria, the group Takaful assurance is actually a compulsory policy for any employer of labor with 3 or more employees. So this guideline, this compulsory policy is regulated under the PRA Act, Pension Reform Act of 2014. So any employer that does not have this in place for their employees is contravening the law of the land. So this is a compulsory policy and is often used, to ensure that to guarantee financial security of employees in the event of their demise. So we have what we call the credit, group credit also under the group's, Takaful structure. This product, ensures that outstanding loans are clear in the event of death of the borrower. So it's commonly offered to individual who borrows money from the bank, and when death happens and their loan has not been fully paid, the Takaful policy pays out outstanding loan principal. So we must also understand that we don't deal in interest, and any interest element is not covered under this product. So for Keyman Takaful, this product, protects businesses by covering the potential financial disruption that might be caused by the loss of a key employee or an executive in an organization. So it ensures that the business can run, can continue to run smoothly despite, any loss that might have happened. So there are other benefits or uses of the Keyman, Takaful within the insurance space. If you are a business owner and you need interest-free loan to establish your business, or just an ordinary business loan, So you can also take a key man Takaful to protect against the risks of debt in the event that your loan has not been fully repaid. So we have the association and club Takaful. This product is tailored for cooperative bodies, association, and religious groups. This cover also extends to ensures that ethical financial protection is extended to the member of a community, and is a great way for the community to also provide safety net for their members. So if you are in a school, if you are alumni of a school and you want your members to also be covered, so this is a good product that can benefit you as a group of old students. So for the family, individual family Takaful is a life-focused category that also supports both the protection and the financial planning for over a long period of time. So we have 3 segments under the individual family Takaful. We have the protection, which provides coverage for unseen events such as death, as mentioned, disability, or critical illness. So for the savings plans is designed to help individuals save for important life milestones. It could be for education, it could be for art, it could be for house, it could be for a marriage, it could be for anything. So it's ideal for long-term financial planning. And we also have what we call the endowment plan, which is an hybrid of both the protection and the saving plans. So we go to Takaful, the differences between Takaful contracts and the conventional contract. So in terms of the risk model, Takaful operates on a risk sharing model, where participants pool their resources together to help each other, while in the conventional space, the conventional space operates on a risk transfer model, where insurance takes on the risks in exchange for premiums. So in terms of the contribution and the tabaru, in Takaful, participants contribute to a fund through tabaru, which is a voluntary donation aimed at helping member of the group, while the conventional space relies on the premium, which are fixed and are made to the insurer. For Takaful operators, any surplus generated from Takaful business is shared among participants in line with the regulatory standards, while in the conventional space, profit generated go directly to the shareholders and the owners of the insurance company and not the policyholder. So for the fund ownership also, Takaful funds are owned by the participants, meaning that individuals contributing towards the fund have a stake in how the fund is managed. And for the conventional insurance, the company owns the fund and the policyholder do not have a say in the management of the fund. And also the last one, on the regulatory basis, Takaful follows a faith-based model, adhering to Islamic principles, particularly in how funds are managed, how the funds are invested, ensuring that they are invested in ethical and Sharia compliant instruments. However, the conventional insurance follow a secular profit-driven model without any religious model. So this is the core distinction that makes Takaful an ethical options for Muslim, and it also provides a faith-aligned alternative for people of the other faith, like the Christians, who seek ethical financial practices. Okay, so Takaful operators, like any other insurance entities, need protection to manage their own risk exposures. So this is where Takaful comes into play. Takaful acts as a safeguard for Takaful operators providing them with the necessary protection for the risks they can't manage alone. And there are key, requirements that the Takaful that must be followed, the Takaful processes that must be followed by the operator. So the first one is, each Takaful operator must have, a clear and structured Takaful strategy, which is based on their unique, risk profile. So this strategy will help, the Takaful operator to ensure that the risks are protected appropriately, and also the financial health of the operator is, guaranteed and safeguarded. Then also, the Takaful contract must also, guideline. Okay, so the core aspects of the Takaful contract is also the risk sharing. At the last, the first day of the webinar, the guest speaker spoke at length on the surplus sharing, and also debunked some of the myths that are, embedded, on the surplus sharing. In most instances, because of knowledge gap and lack of awareness, the public believe that once the policy expires or the financial year ends, immediately the operator is expected to share funds, and that is not how the surplus sharing principle works. So surplus in Takaful funds, arise when there is a surplus after the claim must have been paid, and the actual valuation must have been done, the ACE approval has been gotten, and also the NICOM approval has also been gotten, and also, particularly important, the insurance period or the period of cover on all policies incepted in that particular year must have expired before surplus, can be shared and distributed to the participants. Okay, in a financial, system, including Takaful, it is important to have, a clear and accessible channels for participants to raise concerns, and also, to complain whenever there is a need for them to do so. And in line with the NICOM guideline, this has been specifically stated how the participants can route their, concerns in terms of having challenges, and the operators has also been mandated to include all these complaint channels on the policy documents that is delivered to the participant at the inception of the policy. So the first channel is internal complaint department. So the participant can, complain to the operator directly. So where the operator is not able to resolve the concerns the participant has, the participant, can go through Nigerian Insurance Association's complaint bureau. And where that is also not helping, the participant also have the right to, complain to NICOM. So those are the channels of complaint that are embedded in the Takaful market conduct guideline of 2023. And also, when you look at section 9, subsection 2, subsection 6, you will have what we call the complaint and dispute resolution mechanism. So under this mechanism, where a complaint is lodged with a Takaful operator, the operators must officially acknowledge the complaint within 2 working days, ensuring that participants are not just left in the dark about the status of their concerns. Then also participants must receive updates throughout the resolution process, keeping them informed about the progress and the action that has been taken so far. Then also there must be allowance or mechanism to, if necessary, to also include arbitration so that dispute can be, handled, through the arbitration, which offers a neutral and a third-party method of resolving conflict. So if the complaint remains, unresolved, it should also be escalated to NICOM, or legal option, can also be taken if required. So once the resolution has been reached, the operator must also provide the participants with a final, written response outlining, all the outcome and the and any action that has been taken, or what needs to be done also must be properly, communicated to the participant. Then finally, the operator must ensure that all complaints, are properly, documented, ensuring that there is a clear record of dispute and its resolution, so that at least it can also, assist the operator, to have a point of note in case something like that also happens in the future. And also, if there's any regulatory record that is required, they can also easily, submit it as may be required. Okay, so now the benefit that, Takaful contracts, bring to us as individuals or businesses. It offers, numerous benefits, especially for those that are seeking ethical and faith-aligned alternative to the traditional insurance, because Takaful contract avoids practices such as riba, and also excessive uncertainty, which we call the garaf, and also masir, which is the gambling, and also supports both, biblical and also the Quranic view. Okay, so in terms of mutual support, so there is a pride in the knowledge of assisting others when there is a need, when the loss arises. If you know that you are contributing into a fund, in the event of loss to one, you have that assurance that, the loss of that person will be taken care of. And that can happen to anybody. So there is that, solidarity and mutual assistance that, that comes with Takaful, and the participants, we all know, contribute to that fund and is used to help others in the time of need, and also creating a supportive community that that is based on, sorry, I don't know if you can hear me, because I'm seeing that my network is I'm getting.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
We can hear you clearly.
Okay, so in terms of the risk surplus sharing, so this is also one of the benefits of Takaful. Okay. All right, thank you. So one of the core benefits of Takaful is also, surplus sharing. In the conventional space, even if you have been insuring, your property for the past 10 years, if you don't have any claim, you don't get anything. So, but because the Takaful business is not a for-profit business, it is a mutual assistance, is a cooperative model, and it is built on the foundation of helping one another. So if you don't lodge a claim, you have, and there is a surplus that is being declared
No, Aja, maybe you check your
definitely you also share in that surplus. Then also peace of mind. You know, Takaful offers coverage that aligns, spiritual belief. Work just tripped up. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello.
Clear.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, so I was talking about the having peace of mind, because Takaful, offers that coverage that aligns with your spiritual belief, and also give you the assurance that in event of loss, you have, your back covered. Then
Sorry, there is no
we
slide sharing.
oh wow. So I didn't, sorry. Let me go back. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
All right. Okay, thank you so much. I'm so sorry for that break. Okay, so on the next one, Takaful is governed, by Sharia oversight, and also this ensure that all activities, are in compliance with the principle under which the Takaful operation is, regulated. And additionally, it is also regulated by NICOM, and this provide, additional layer of oversight to ensure that the operation is in line with the ethical practices and is in compliance with the Sharia guidelines. So for financial inclusion, we know that, Takaful is accessible to individuals of all faiths, including Muslims and, Christians and, any other person that is interested in an ethical, instrument, to protect their properties and their life. So that is the benefit of Takaful. So here in Ilal, we are a composite company in Ilal. So I'm going to also be speaking to some of the products that we have. So we offer a range of, a wide range of products designed to meet both the spiritual and the financial needs of individuals, family, businesses, and all. We have the General Takaful, which provide coverage for properties. We have under the General Takaful, we have what we call the Motor Takaful, Engineering Takaful, Nigerian Marine Takaful, sorry, and General Accident, as I earlier explained, under the General Product. For our family Takaful, our offerings include, plans such as the education, marriage, Hajj, and mortgage protection. So these products are really designed to support, the long-term financial needs of individuals. If you are planning towards Hajj, you can take up the Hajj plan. If you want to send your child to university in the next 2 years, you can start with taking up an educational plan. So we also have the group family, which is also a compulsory policy. There are variants of family group policies outside of the main compulsory one that we also have here in Ilal. The individual policy that we also have, the credit life and Takaful mortgage plan. Then also all other type of insurance that you might need, we have your back here in Ilal. Then in terms of, let's go to the onboarding process, to onboard for a Takaful contract. So this onboarding documentation is universal. Is not only specific to Ilal or the Takaful operators, but universal for all the operators within the insurance space in Nigeria. So to sign up, participants to provide, a few key documents to ensure that the process is both clear and is compliant with the regulatory standard. We have what we call the proposal form, which is also the KYC form, and is must be submitted. We have piece of ID for both corporate and individual. We have the CAC for corporate organizations. We have utility bill also must be submitted. In terms of other documents that might also be required for group, for instance, the need cost. Hello. Sorry, my network, I've changed it. I don't think we should be having challenges again. I've switched to another network. Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and
Yes,
clear.
we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you so much. As I was saying, claims administration processes is designed to be efficient, empathetic, and fair. It's concise and hassle-free. First and foremost, if there's a claim, what the participant needs to do is to notify us. And also, as soon as basic details are provided, we might also need, we might also request for some other, information depending on the type of claim. After that is done, our team will also assess the claim and determine the validity and also calculate the amount payable. This step ensures fairness, accuracy, and also ensures that participant risk funds are not depleted. Depleted. Okay. So, and once the claim has been approved, we ensure a timely payout and resolution, allowing participants to receive the fund that to support their needs. So at ILAL, we prioritize empathy, fairness, and timeliness in our claim processing, ensuring that participants' needs are met with the utmost care and respect that is needed. So our final thought to wrap up here today, we believe in trust, we believe in Takaful, and we also believe in togetherness, because it is not, Takaful is a value-driven movement that is focused on, shared security, ethical finance, and also living in line with our belief. Takaful aligns with, universal principle of cooperation, justice, and is found in both the Quran and the Bible. Is for everyone. So Takaful, like most people used to say, Takaful is the insurance of Muslims. No, Takaful is not the insurance of Muslims. Takaful contract is for everyone that values ethical, fairness in providing their protection needs. So regardless, we want to invite you, to join us, in this transformative journey. So if you have any inquiries, you can always reach us at inquiries@ilatakaful.com.ng. So I want to say thank you, for listening. We hope that this session has really deepened your understanding of Takaful. We also hope that you also call us, for our offerings. So the contact that I share, inquiries at corners at ilaltakaful.com.ng. So thank you, everyone, and I'm available for further questions. Thank you.
Thank you for presentation.
Thank you very much, madam. Appreciate you.
Well done, ma'am.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much
you.
for all you have shared with us. I know that it is more than it was a very rich presentation, and I know that everyone has picked one or two things that they will find very useful. Please stay around. We hope you'll still be around with us so that after the second speaker, we can have you at least here to address the one or two questions that may come up. I'd like to invite Mr. Eitayo Ogunlui, the ED operations of Salam Takaful, to kindly share with us some of his knowledge about Takaful. Thank you. Mr. Ogunlui, please.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Trying to share the screen. Thank you very much. Good afternoon once again. My name is Eitayo Ogunlui from Salam Takaful Insurance. I'll be speaking on the socio-economic advantages of Takaful Insurance in Nigeria.
Sir, please, could you make it full screen so that we can read what is on your slides?
Okay. Is it okay now?
Not, okay, yes, it is. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I'll be talking on social economic advantages of Takaful Insurance in Nigeria. First of all, we need to define what Takaful is. Takaful is based on the principle of mutual assistance, concept of Takaful, and cooperation system. So Takaful can actually be defined as Islamic sharing arrangement where participants contribute funds to a common pool, which is used to support members in times of loss or needs, unlike traditional insurance. Well, NICOM approved Takaful in Nigeria. We have No Takaful, we have Jais Takaful, we have Salam Takaful, we have ILA, we have Crown Takaful, and in process, we have Al-Wafa Takaful. Then the BAS Group 2 is making effort to establish Takaful insurance in Nigeria. These are the models, these are Takaful models in Nigeria, which this topic has been dealt extensively last week. I will just mention it. That's we have the Mudaraba model, that's profit sharing. We have the agency model. We have the hybrid model, that's Wakala, and that's Mudaraba and Wakala model. Then we have the Wolf model, and I will not talk much on this form model because we've had so much about it during our last lecture last week. Then in Takaful, you benefit um, in two ways. That is from area of claims, from the angle of claims, and from angle of surplus sharing. You know, in Takaful insurance, you must actually benefit either by making claim, your claims will actually be paid, and if there's no claim, you are entitled to surplus sharing. So these are the two ways you benefit from Takaful insurance. So let's talk deeply now into the social economic advantage of Takaful. One, Takaful creates employment opportunities in Nigeria and all over the world. It creates employment opportunities in Nigeria. These are the departments that workers will be engaged in Takaful industry. We have the underwriting department, we have the Sharia auditor, we have the technical department, we have the finance department, we have the product development, we have business development department, then we have legal and HR admin department. You can see that the department are so huge, and so far so good in Nigeria now. Takaful industry has employed over 500 people, and we are still counting. Takaful industry has employed over 500 workers, which contribute towards the growth of the economy. And more importantly, before now, the issue of Sharia auditor, if not for the promotion of ethical insurance in Nigeria, no one is employing Sharia auditors in the insurance industry. But now that course has now become a lucrative course for people now, and so many people are needed in that angle now, even in banking sector, that is the ethical banking sector, and the Takaful industry. So Takaful creates more employment opportunities in Nigeria. Then another thing is customer satisfaction. Well, customer satisfaction can be looked at in the area of service. You can look at it from the angle of value. Then you can look at it from the angle of ethical or religious angle. You know, so with the establishment of Takaful insurance in Nigeria, we now discover that underserved population now have access to financial services. You know, what Takaful have created now is it has increased insurance penetration in Nigeria. Takaful have increased insurance penetration in Nigeria. Many people who are not insuring, who does not believe in conventional insurance, now have an alternative. And that's why we call it alternative insurance. So because it complies with their religious belief, it complies with the ethical aspect, which is stop debarring people from taking up insurance. You know, so Takaful has come to play that role to ensure that people have access to ethical instruments. Then tax payments to the government. In Takaful, of course, is an establishment, and we pay tax to the government, which also contribute to the national development, funding of public services, and economic growth. We pay our income tax to the government, we pay the tolling tax to the government, and payee as well. And all this money generated by the government are being used for social welfare, are being used for national development, are being used to create more services like public services, like, such as healthcare, education, infrastructure, and many things that benefit the society as a whole. So with the establishment of Takaful insurance companies in Nigeria, government were able to make more money to foster national development. Then another social economic advantage of Takaful insurance is surplus distribution. Surplus distribution. Last week we talked so much about surplus distribution, and I want to say this. That I want to say this: all Takaful companies in Nigeria today have paid surplus. All of us have paid surplus to our participants, and which is a good news for us in the industry. And presently, Takaful company has distributed over 1 billion in surplus. We have distributed over 1 billion in surplus to our participants, and most of the participants, and over 2 million participants, has benefited from this surplus distribution. Like company like No Takaful paid close to 500 million, followed by Jais Takaful, over 400 million, then Hilal Takaful, and Salam Takaful as well. And inshallah, this year as well, virtually all of us will also distribute surplus. So these are the type of surplus distributable. We have the proportional distribution to non-claimants, and the deduction of indemnity amount. Well, surplus is actually distributed to non-claimants, and surplus is defined as the excess amount in the risk fund. So now, another social economic advantage of Takaful is the solution to common concern. When I say solution to common concern, in conventional, we have been having this issue or this challenge that at renewal, the client will tell us that, oh, you have been collecting my premium for over 10 years, over 5 years, over 3 years, and so on and so forth. When will I benefit from this contract? So Takaful offers solution to this common concern. People without claim history, people without claim are eligible to surplus. So this surplus payment has actually addressed this concern that, oh, you have been paying premium for a very long time without making any benefit, without getting any benefit from the insurance contract. Now we have solution to that concern, and that is surplus distribution. Now, Takaful seamless claim process. Our claim process in Takaful is very seamless. Takaful generally is based on equity and fairness. Equity, fairness, and transparency. So our claims process in Takaful is very seamless. And one thing that makes us happy in Takaful is claims payment. That's one of the things that make us happy. So whenever we want to pay claim, we are very happy in Takaful industry. And why? Because that is our obligation. That's what we promise our participants. Peace of mind. And I can say it here categorically that all Takaful operators in Nigeria pay claim within 48 hours after signing of the search voucher. 48 hours is the maximum. Many of us pay within 24 hours. In fact, I know of some, I can mention some complaints that if you sign your DV in the morning, before close of business, you have your claims check or you have your money transferred into your account. Because they saw the money, the fund to which we are paying the claim does not belong to us. It belongs to the participant. It's not our money. It's participant money. So that is one of the reasons why we are always eager to pay claims. So the seamless procedure in our claim process is when claims occur, you submit, we then verification, then approval, then we pay from the Tabaru fund. You know, so and unlike conventional that has been monitored by maybe NIA and NICOM alone, we are also being overseen by Sharia board. We are also being overseen by Sharia board, and that is why our claims process is very seamless. So I as of today, I can actually beat my chest that no Takaful company rejects claims. I can actually say it that most Takaful company does not reject claims, except if it's fraudulent claims, because we have to also protect the risk fund. Apart from fraudulent claims, any genuine claims will be processed and will be paid on a timely basis by all Takaful companies. So our claim process is very seamless. Then the second, another advantage of Takaful is the contribution to health sector. Contribution to health sector. The National Health Insurance Authority has actually approved ethical health program, which by the grace of God, no Takaful has keyed into it. So Takaful are now reduce the financial burden of healthcare, especially the low income participants who may not have money in the event of sickness. So Takaful contributes immensely toward this health sector, and which is an advantage to us as a industry. Then the contribution to education, education Takaful provide financial security for student future, and it encourage long-term planning and educational savings. Then it help reduce school dropout rates due to financial difficulties. Then they build an informed and economically empowered society. So with the education plan in the, that we offer as Takaful operator, you know, dropout rate has actually reduced. Then the contribution to the economy, it encourages savings and financial inclusion through accessible plan. Then it supports micro, small, and medium enterprise with protection tools. Then it boosts confidence in ethical financial system. So these are ways that Takaful has contributed to the advancement of the economy. So we want to talk about Salam Takaful products, the product that we have in Salam Takaful. We have a Moto Takaful, which cover private and commercial vehicle. We have the comprehensive cover and we have third-party cover. Third-party cover is a compulsory Takaful insurance in Nigeria, and the rate is just 15,000 naira. And what it covers is your liability against the third party, that is the debts of the third party, the property damage, that is the damage to the other party's vehicle or to the other party's property, and the limit of liability on that one is 3 million, and the limit of liability on debt is unlimited. Then the comprehensive cover actually covers both, your vehicle and the third party's vehicle as well. Then we have fire and property Takaful. That is for building, for contents, for warehouses. So this fire policy covers your building against fire. In the event of fire, damage to your building or to the content or to your warehouse or to what you have in your warehouse, Takaful operators will compensate you. That is, we in Salam Takaful, we compensate you. Then we have a burglary Takaful, which provide against loss or damage to property caused by forcible entry or exit into the participant premises. So in the event of burglary, Salam Takaful compensates the participants. So this kind of burglary policy can be taken up by shop owners, can be taken up by people in that are into businesses. And are into businesses, people that are selling things that can be easily being burgled. So these are the policy that that is very good for you. Then we have good in transit Takaful. That is, if you are carrying your goods from one place to another, if there's any damage, loss while in transit, Salam Takaful will actually compensate you for that, for such loss or damage. Then we have marine Takaful, that is, we are shipping goods from one country to another, or we are actually built from abroad to Nigeria. Salam Takaful, of course, we compensate you for any loss or damage that happens while transit. Then we have our engineering Takaful. Under engineering Takaful, we have the plant all risk, we have machinery breakdown, and we have erection all risk. And then we have construction contractors all risk. That is, if you're into construction, you can take contractor all risk with us. The contractor all risk will cover any damage or loss that happens while you are constructing either building or constructing road, dam, or any other construction, and or you are erecting something like mats and so on. So if there's loss or damage as a result while you are erecting those, where you are erecting the mast or whatever you are erecting, Salam Takaful will compensate you. Then we have plant audits, your machineries, breakdown of machineries, loss or damage to your plant, big generator, while being used, So Salam Takaful actually compensate for loss or damage, and we have liability policy as well. Then under our family Takaful, we have the tuition plan. That's group tuition plan. That's a kind of policy that can be taken up by schools, by parent association, to cover the payment of the school fees of students at the demise of the parents. So this ensure continuous education of the student. Then we have Salam Group Family Takaful. Group Takaful is a pure family policy which covers workers, people, which cover workers in the event of death. So the beneficiary will be compensated and pay benefit the beneficiary of the participant. Then we have our savings policy. You can save towards Obra or Zariah, so you can do it for maybe a year or 2 years. That's a kind of target savings. Then we have what we call a Howry policy. That's for marriage. You want to save towards your marriage. This is a kind of policy you can take up with us. Then we have another investment policy. We call it Salam Legacy Investment Plan. This kind of policy can be taken up for 5 years or 10 years. And it allows for partial withdrawal. If you want to withdraw your money partially, you can withdraw in this legacy investment plan. And at the end of the period, your money will be paid back to you with profits. Your money will be paid back to you with profits. Then we have Salam Legacy Investment Plan Plus. This is just a saving for 1 year. So you can save for 1 year with Salam Takaful, and at the end of the year, we pay back you back your money with profit. So thank you very much. So
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the insightful presentation. So going forward now, would like to see if there are questions that either you or Mrs. Jimo can actually address. So I'll check the chats first, and then if anyone else has a question, you can either type it in the chat box or raise your hand and we'll have you ask the question. So the first two. There's a question here that says, any correlation to insurance in terms of compensation? Is there any correlation, or rather more like how does Takaful differ from the regular or conventional insurance when it comes to compensation? I'm just paraphrasing. The real words are is there any correlation in insurance in terms of compensation?
Okay. All right, let me take the question. Well, our claim process in both conventional and Takaful is actually the same, because we are all guided by Insurance Act 2003. So our claims process is the same. But the difference between us and conventional is that internally, we are guided by Sharia board, which ensure that any process, anything we do, there must be equity, there must be fairness, and there must be transparency. If, okay, for instance, someone in law, actually, in Takaful, we assume that all claims are genuine. In Takaful, we assume that all claims are genuine unless we prove proof that is a fraudulent claim. So the empathy to pay claim when it comes to Takaful is higher. And we are all eager to pay claim. I think I'm able to answer that question.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Mrs. Jimo, I hope you are still here with us. Kindly, I'll read out the next question, and then you can probably help us out by answering it.
All right.
The question is that if one makes contributions over a few years and never made any claim, nor got any surplus, and wants to make full withdrawal of the contribution, will one get full payment with surplus?
All right, thank you. So I believe the audience is asking that question in relation to individual family savings, Takaful. So
Yes.
how savings works. So if you have not received profit or surplus, is because there has not been surplus declared. So even if you have withdrawn your fund and at the end of the year, there is a surplus declared for that year, so you are also entitled to a proportionate surplus distribution as long as your funds were still with the Takaful operator during the year the surplus was declared. I hope that answers the question.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So I'll just take a question from Mr. Odumbaku, Mr. Saburi Odumbaku, before we'll read the next one from the chats.
Thank you, our moderator. My name is Odumbaku Saburi, and I'm also an Islamic financial expert. Myself and Professor Jibril have worked on several things on Islamic finance with some institutions. My question is to the presenter, is the issue of publicity. Because looking at what the knowledge we have acquired so far in the training we've done, we've seen that the advantage of Takaful to the conventional insurance is very enormous. But I don't know why people are not pushing it. When I was in banking, because we have this, you want to, when you are creating an asset, you do an insurance, you are given the liberty of using whether the Takaful or the conventional insurance. We are the one promoting, as a banker, promoting the Takaful. What is the Takaful companies doing in terms of publicity, most especially in the area of profit distribution, because it's a key advantage for them. Most people that are paying high premium to secure their assets and not getting something in return at the end of the year, if they hear all these things, the tendency of them moving to Takaful is very high. And also with the advantage of seamless, claim payment. So I don't know. Maybe they are restricted in doing advertisement to knock on the area of that sharing of a profit distribution. That is my decision, because they need to sing it so people see it, so that they can make more money, more Takaful can come into being, and everybody will be happy, both the operators and the insured. So that is my concern. If the person get my question right, publicity.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So, Mr. Gului and Mrs. Jimo, I'd like you to chip in very, very short answers to that. What are you doing in terms of publicity? Because we've all been able to see that Takaful offers some great advantages. So how come people are not using it as they should? Please respond.
Okay, so I'll be giving you my response in line with the Takaful committee. All the 5 operators, within the Takaful market, have a committee that we call the Takaful committee. So the Takaful committee is actually looking at, working out a joint publicity drive. I believe that will be happening this year. And once that is also, concluded, we will definitely also bring Nungu Business School to the, we also include you in the arrangement, we also notify you. So we definitely recognize that the publicity is not enough, and we don't want to see it as we don't want to work in silos. So we want to, come together and organize, the seminar, starting from the north, then we'll go through all the other regions of the nation. So is a working process. So we'll update you as we proceed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam. So I'll just take 2 more questions from the chat, and then he has brought down his hand. There was someone that wanted to ask orally. Okay, there's a question here. I'm not sure either of our speakers can actually attend to it because neither of them, as far as I know, worked with that company. But let me just read it out. It says that African Alliance Takaful has been owing a lot of their customers. How can customers get their funds back?
Well, I think it's not only African Alliance that have issue with the operations. Some insurance companies also have issues, including African Alliance. I think the challenge is well known to NICOM and is well known to the public. And NICOM is putting up all efforts to ensure that all participants get their fund. But for now, I think it's still in progress. Nikon is putting all effort to ensure that everyone gets their fund. IAA actually operates window Takaful. They are not full-fledged Takaful company, and it's of great concern to us too because we want to ensure that our reputations as Takaful industry is not dented. So we hopefully all the process that NICOM is putting in place will work out very soon.
Thank you. NICOM being the association that is
a supervisory, yes,
supervisory body for
yes,
the insurance
companies.
Okay, so the other question is this: what are the laws and institutions regulating Takaful operations in Nigeria? How adequate are these laws and institutions in meeting the needs for successful operation of Takaful in Nigeria?
Okay, so I will take that question. As mentioned in my presentation, so there are core guidelines that are released, strictly with Takaful operation. One of them is the Takaful guidelines of 2013, which defines how Takaful funds are to be managed. It also defines the Takaful different Takaful models to be adopted, and also the Sharia compliance to be maintained. So in the Takaful model, we have, as also stated by my colleague that presented, we have different models. So we have the Wakala model, we have the Modaraba model, and we have the hybrid model. So all these are clearly indicated in a guideline that is guiding the operation of Takaful. Then we have the other one, which is the market conduct guideline of 2023, which also emphasizes that how the participants are to be treated fairly, and also how the need for transparency and fair dealing while dealing with Takaful. So there are other NICOM guidelines that also guide the operation of Takaful along with the conventional insurance operators. So why Takaful is more structured is the fact that outside of NICOM, we also have what we call the ACE, which is the Advisory Committee of Council of Experts, which also ensure that all Takaful operations are in line with the Sharia guideline, and also the funds are invested in only ethical instruments. So those guidelines and regulations are what guides the operation of Takaful business, and that is why the success that is being recorded so far, even though we are still very small. So because of this guideline and regulations, so Takaful operation is seamless, the claim processes is also seamless and all that. So I believe I've been able to answer the question.
Yes, you have. Thank you so much, madam. Okay, so the next question is, do Takaful companies provide business interruption policies?
Okay, let me take that. Yes, the Takaful claim can be licensed to provide business interruption policy. While you are you want to get all your product approved by NICOM, the only two policies that you are not allowed to do is aviation policy and oil and gas. So every other policy, we are free to underwrite it, except if we just on our own decide not to do it. So Takaful companies can underwrite business interruption. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So you can go ahead to contact any of them to find out what they can do for your business in terms of business interruption policies. Okay, there's another question here that states that, can you please clarify? What I understand by this lecture is that the Takaful claim will pay an incentive in return of any eventualities and not replacement of properties. The person wants to know whether, wants you to clarify that the Takaful companies will pay an incentive when something happens, and not the replacement of properties.
Okay. Takaful is also guided by the principle of insurance. And one of the principles is the principle of indemnity. Indemnity means putting back the participant back to the position he enjoyed immediately before the loss, not betterment. What I mean is that if you have property worth 1 million and you have Takaful policy for it, if there's a loss of that property, Takaful will not pay you more than 1 million. And that's what we call compensation. We don't pay incentive, we pay compensation. And we compensate. That we bring you back to the position you have immediately before the loss. You have a car, you are driving your car, as a result of accident, you are not able to drive the car again. So what Takaful will do for you is to repair the car so that you are able to drive the car again. That is putting you back to the position you enjoy immediately before the loss. I'm able to answer the question.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Okay, this question states that how do Takaful Insurance in Nigeria navigate the issue of riba when participating on conventional policies? I don't think they participate in conventional policies. They have theirs. Okay, but that was a question, please. Either Mrs. Jima, would you like to attempt to that? To that question.
Okay, so the NICOM guideline on Takaful operation has clearly stated how Takaful operation, what mechanism the Takaful operator needs to deploy if they are expected to, if they want to partake with those that are not core Takaful operator in terms of, re-Takaful, for instance. So if you have risks to reinsure, and you've contacted, all the re-Takaful operators and they are not able to take it. And we also know that we have limited re-Takaful operators, even in Nigeria and even within the African space. And there's a need in some instances to, insure your risks with other conventional insurance or reinsurance institution, as long as you have informed your ACE board, which is the advisory council of experts, then you can also deploy that. So that is also, stated in the guideline that guides the Takaful operation.
Thank you, ma'am. What are the plans of Takaful industry to nationalize all aspects of Takaful activities, especially in the area of claims, where every aspect is currently conventional?
Take that again, please.
That question
What
is
are
not
the
clear.
plans?
Last question is, okay, go ahead.
Let me just read it again. What are the plans of the Takaful industry to nationalize all aspects of Takaful activities, especially in the area of claims, where every aspect is currently conventional?
I'm not sure, well, I don't really understand the question, but the claims process under the Takaful, we can't, assume to call them conventional. So we pay claim in line with the laid down guideline. And most of the time, the claim processes also align with what is, operational within the conventional space, as we are also guided by the Insurance Act of 2003. So, and in terms of nationalizing, so all our claims are, within the country. Most of our transaction is also within the country. If anybody, any insurance operator or even Takaful operator wants to, send anything outside of the country, it has to, go through the necessary approval, from NICOM. And this type of risk usually deals with aviation and oil and gas, which is the type of risk that Takaful operators are not currently, partaking in. So I'm not sure that my response answers the question, because I'm not sure I understand what the individual is trying to get. But if they are on the call, they can also comment so that we know and answer
Yes.
appropriately.
Okay. Has the question been answered, Mr. Anataku? Okay, then I saw Mr. Jupe's hand up.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam, sir.
The question is answered because it is like we settle claims the Takaful way and the way that it is done in conventional. So our difference is more to do with the accounting than with the practice. All the principles are very similar. The only thing is we say claims, when we settle claims, the recoveries from claims, whether they are from Takaful or reinsurance, does not come to the shareholders' account. It is paid. Recoveries are paid into the participants' account, which is differentiating us from conventional practice. Conventional practice, when they pay any claim, the salvage that is sold or whatever contribution reinsurance comes to pay goes to the company, but it doesn't come to us in this time. It goes to the participants' account, Islamizing or Takafulizing the practice. So we definitely have nothing like, whether it is locally reinsured or insured outside, we settle like you are told. We put you in the position you were before the loss, immediately before the loss. So if there is anything to put you on betterment, the answer was betterment was mentioned. It is to explain that if your vehicle is 5 years old, is involved in an accident, we are replacing a windscreen, we are replacing a door and all that. These doors or windscreens are new. So therefore, they are not to the age of the vehicle. You may be charged a percentage for the betterment because we are putting your vehicle in a better position than it was. That is all to discourage deliberately getting your asset into loss where you claim so that you are in a better position. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sorry, I have a sore throat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, there are a few more questions, but we need to round up the session because we said we'll be closing at 2:30 and we don't want to go way beyond that. It's already 3:36. We don't want to go beyond 3:30, but it's already 3:36. So I'll just quickly read 2 more questions. I'm sure those are the last 2 we'll be able to take. There's one here that says that asked whether there's any attempt to have a Takaful regulatory body apart from NICOM.
Okay, so apart from NICOM, like we said, the ACE advisory, all Takaful operators are expected to also have the Advisory Council of Experts, which serve as for oversight to ensure Sharia compliance. And, because we also know that Takaful is an insurance business also, which is already regulated, by the Insurance Act of 2003. So the question that I would love to have is whether or not the Takaful operators will also want to have their own association, just like the conventional insurance companies also have their association, which is the Nigerian Insurance Association. So it's something that we will also be looking at. But then in terms of the regulatory arm, we are still all insurance operation within Nigeria must also be regulated by NICOM, which is an act. Takaful cannot be taken out of that regulation. Thank you.
Then the final question, thank you, ma'am. The final question is the person wants to know why Takaful is being excluded from partaking in the aviation and oil and gas, and what you as Takaful companies are doing about that.
All right, let me take that question. Well, the Takaful operations in Nigeria is actually following the way it is being done in Malaysia, and we are looking at steady growth and are looking at what we call stability. So for now, this aspect, this class of policy, aviation and oil and gas, they are very huge. One claim can ruin a whole company. Just one claim can ruin a whole company. So that is why Takaful for now is excluded. By the time we are well stabilized and we have really found our foot on the ground very well, I think Takaful will still go into it because Takaful will still go into it. But for now, I think NICOM still excluded us so that we were able to stabilize and we are able to put have more solid foundation before we can go into it.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mrs. Moibajimo, ED Technical of Hilal Takaful Insurance Limited, and also Mr. Tayo Ogunluyi, who is the ED Operations of Salam Takaful Limited. Thank you very much for sharing your insights with us and of spending your time with us. We also want to thank each and every one of our participants for sparing the time to come and listen to our guest speakers. We really appreciate you, and we're very honored that you decided to accept our invite. So this brings us to the end of this particular webinar. I'd like to invite you for the last session, which will hold next Saturday at 2 p.m. There will have the ED operations of the 5th Takaful company, fully registered Takaful company in Nigeria. And I'm sure it's also going to be a treasure trove of a lot of information and a lot of insights that are going to do a lot for us, both on the individual level and also with our businesses. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you. Do enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.